If all is going well, this is Shorthawk coming to you live from a double wide in Ohio. This is a test stream. I have not streamed in a couple of years. And I'm just setting this all up again. So, I'm not sure if things are working. This is going to be a variety stream. My main idea is to have a little bit of a GeoGuessr alternative at front, play a consistent video game. This time it's going to be Xenogears, and if I stick with this, it will be Xenogears for a while. Then some random midstream segment, maybe I might ditch that for this test stream. Then a one-off game. Then have either a reading of some kind of either public domain literature, or if I can get a hold of an actual newer writer, something that they have written. But that's been difficult trying to get published authors to contact. It's a lot harder than you'd think. So yes, I will begin this in a second. I have someone that I wanted to tell that I was streaming, but I did not give them a link. Again, this is my first time I've done this in a while, so I am rusty. Not in the slightest bit. There we go. I think that's it. All right, so I wanted to start off with the GeoGuessr alternative. Just do a little bit of exploration, comment on whatever I see in the local area. So here we go. This is, I believe it's called Wordle Daily. I think their idea was that it's like Wordle. I forget what that old game was that got popular a while back. I never personally played it. The first checking rewards that pay you to get paid. Wonderful. Thank you, Laurel Road. Anyways, so yes, this looks... I'm honestly not sure. This gives me some European vibes for sure. It also gives me some very uncertain vibes. I don't know. Those cars definitely look like what I would expect from a European country. Don't know, is this somewhere in like Italy or perhaps Eastern Europe? Could be Spain. It could be Spain. Right. I had something that I wanted to have on the side here, and I didn't. There it is. All right, that is just for my help. All right, this looks like a fairly nice neighborhood. You've got some gates. I don't know if that necessarily is an indicator of a nice neighborhood. Perhaps that's an indicator of a dangerous neighborhood. This browser I'm using also, I've got a theme for it to use. It's called Pale Moon, trying to make it look like old Netscape Navigator. But it's not a very good browser. It's very slow. It's got it looks like a Volkswagen right there. It looks like an older version of my car, actually. If it's a Volkswagen Golf. That is a Volkswagen Golf. So yeah, that is just an older version of my car. Is that a TDI? Is that a TDI? It's a TDI. My man, I used to have a TDI, but they don't make them anymore. Disappointing. But this is definitely Europe. Here we go. Here's some words. Cardiovascular. I'm not quite sure. Would that indicate? It does not sound like. Doesn't seem like Spanish to me, though. Could it be Italian? I don't know. There's Auto Check Center. I mean, that's why all those cars are here. To the person, to Ghoul that just asked me, I am just playing with, it's a GeoGuessr alternative where you go through Street View. I just thought it'd be a fun little way to start it out. I feel like this has to be, this just feels like Italy if I were to imagine what Italy is. I feel like it is Italy. But where in Italy is the question. Also might not be Italy. I could be wrong. I don't know Italian. I don't know Italian in the slightest. Probably somewhere in Eastern Europe, and I'm just being completely uneducated in regards to Eastern Europe. I know it's not German. If it's German, I will be disgraced because I took German in high school. But I don't know. What is this? Could it be Belgium, maybe? Because the architecture is starting to make me not think of Italy, though. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Let's go somewhere in Europe. Let's just like hedge our bets north Italy. How about that? It could be Netherlands. That actually might also be a good guess. Again, I'm not familiar with this particular language, so I'm just gonna put it there. Okay. Can you tell me where it was then? This yeah, I know it's 1,000 kilometers from the location. This version of GeoGuessr is not very helpful with me actually seeing the real location now. Okay, no, here we go. That's where it was. It was okay, it was Eastern Europe. It was kind of in maybe that was Eastern Austria perhaps, or no, Slovakia, maybe. Anyways, can I try again then? Is this round 2? This must be in the same area. I'm kind of confused. This GeoGuessr alternative isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Search inside the circle. Okay. See, I like GeoGuessr, but this version, I didn't vet it as much as I should have. And I don't have a GeoGuessr actual subscription. I might actually just go and get that in a little bit here. Because this is not that great. In that case, then, I very well might just get onto the first game then. Because that is definitely frustrating, this version of it. I might honestly just get a GeoGuessr subscription, because I like GeoGuessr. It is just a bootleg GeoGuessr, but GeoGuessr added a subscription a while ago, I remember, and you have to pay for the proper GeoGuessr. Also, are my audio levels good? I haven't actually played any computer audio yet, but I'm not sure how it sounds relative to what you are hearing, I suppose. I tested it, but it's hard to say if that's going to actually go through. Okay, thank you. All right, so the main game that I'm looking to play on stream for a while is Xenogears, the old JRPG. I believe it was released in '97, but I will double check by looking at the sum of all human information. 1998. Okay, I was a year off. Alrighty. But it is a JRPG that was an alternative to Final Fantasy VII for Square, and then they went with what became Final Fantasy VII, and this game was kind of pushed to the side. Fresh boot. But I've always wanted to get through it, and I've started playing through it twice, and I've never been able to actually get through it. Oh, well, thank you. My round Windsor frames, my John Lennons or Harry Potters, whatever wants to call them, something along those lines. go. All right. So what does sound like relative to the game right now? I'm curious. It probably is not just you. It probably is not just you. All right. In that case, let's see if this perhaps helps. All right, I'm gonna hit start. Just occurred to me, I have no clue as to whether or not I had this auto set my controller. I don't even know if it's actually going to do what I want it to do. Okay, that's good. Good. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. I don't think I hit new, though. I do know this is the opening cutscene, so I'm just going to let it play through regardless. We're starting off with a nice big, long starship. And then the game is, I do remember from it, the game is going to completely switch gears, and you're going to be like, what was that all about? And I still never learned what it was all about, because I stopped playing after 2 hours. But Xenogears is very frequently hailed as one of the best written games of all time. And as somebody who appreciates a good story, I have always wanted to get through it. And so, thought no better place perhaps.
Omega 1 restarting. Alpha 1 genome restructuring.
All right, is the audio better now?
Base code 85 million. 100 million. Its speed is overwhelming.
Lots of
Alpha 1
technobabble.
to raise your central. Access confirmed. Initializing fake net. Disconnected. Activating emergency shelter. Denied. Contamination is spreading widely. Captain.
Cut off the cables manually.
Roger. Activating self-destruct bolts.
Terminate with extreme prejudice.
No good, nothing happened. Omega 1, they are attacking. We can't stop them. 98% of our weapons have been taken over.
Please give me more numbers. I need more numbers.
And its base space logic is being rewritten. Ergo area is increasing. An internal plane is forming. Switching to space displacement mode.
Alpha 1, confirming transfer of coordinate codes. Coordinates input, coordinate NX128, EZ061.
Letters
The main
too.
planet.
Damn. So they're planning on attacking. Engine room. Activate the emergency sealing system. Engine room. Engine.
I cannot hear you, Captain. The Xenos have stopped my gears.
See that all civilians and passengers are safely transported to the escape shuttles. I will send a dispatch after evacuation is complete. I am evacuating the ship. All of you, evacuate now.
Ruh-roh Raggy.
Evacuate the ship immediately. All passengers please board the shuttles in a calm and orderly fashion.
You forget how sci-fi this starts, and then kind of switches over a bit, but it's definitely it has that kind of same vibe that Final Fantasy VII has, where there's a lot of technological, futuristic aspects mixed with, you know, older style fantasy elements, which makes sense considering that it was an alternate option for Final Fantasy VII. What a world we would have lived in if this had become the Final Fantasy VII. I'm pretty sure that sound effect was used in Star Trek. I wonder what the origin of that stock sound was. He should have tried turning it off and turning it on again. Rookie mistake. That is fair, I suppose. I mean, it's definitely a lot slower than a lot of that would be, but there's a lot of interest to be had in Xenogears. I just couldn't keep my focus on it for the longest time. She needs to put some clothes on, perhaps. It's probably cold out as it's late. She'll catch a cold! Oh dear, oh dear. Xenogears. Okay, so that they play the opening cutscene just in the menu, I think, or do they play it again? And I'll have to skip it this time. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Instead of having a demo, they just play the opening cutscene when you don't press anything. All right, here we go. The continent of Ignis in the northern hemisphere of our world. On this, the largest continent, a war has been raging between two countries for hundreds of years. In the north of the continent lies the Kislev Empire. In the south lies the desert kingdom of Ava. The war has been gone on for so long that the people have forgotten the cause, knowing only the pointless circle of hostility and tragedy. That's not good. They should just take a break and, I don't know, drink some tea. A chronic war obsession was soon to encounter a devastating change. This was due to the ethos, an institution that preserves our world's culture, repairing tools and weapons excavated from ruins of an ancient civilization. At once, both countries excavated these ruins and had the ethos repair the discoveries in order to increase their military powers. Of course they would. Of course they would. The various weapons excavated from the ruins greatly changed the form of warfare. The outcome of the battles between the two countries was no longer determined by man-to-man combat, but by gears, giant humanoid fighting machines that were obtained from deep within the ruins, also known as Eva, also known as Gundams. Anyways, eventually, after continuous swings in the state of the war, Kislev gained the upper hand. The major factor behind this lay in the enormous difference in the amount of resources buried within their ruins. But suddenly, a mysterious military force appeared in the continent of Ignis. Called Gebler, this force decided to make contact with Eva. This is a huge exposition dump, for the record. With the assistance of this Gebler military force, Eva was able to recover from being hopelessly outnumbered to being back on an even standing with Kislev. Then, taking further advantage of its newly gained momentum, Ava started to capture one territory after another from Kislev, showing no indication of slowing down in their invasion campaign. I mean, it's no Morrowind or Planescape Torment, but that is a lot of dialogue to start it off with. The remote village of Lehan, in the outskirts of Eva. I didn't get to read the rest. This is where it all begins. Ah, late 90s game graphics. They have totally not aged at all. Damn you. Who? I forgot how good of a soundtrack this game had. Yeah! That's one down. Easy down, though. What on earth are you? No matter how often I knock you down, you still get up? Faye, stop! You must not fight here! Boy, are you persistent. Damn it, how come? Why did it have to come to this? Because the plot demanded that it come to this. Silly Faye. Aha, clever transition there. I forgot about that. There was a lot of thought put into this game. I do remember that. It's just... I remember hearing that the second half of the game takes a nosedive. Whew, that about does it. Alright, now for a short break. And I do have chats readily available, though. I can see that right next to the game screen for me. Okay, I'm trying to remember the controls now. So, what would be circle is run. What would be triangle is jump. Alright. One thing Final Fantasy VII never did. Couldn't jump there. Already better than FF7. Hello, Faye. You're looking well today. My, how time flies. Why, it's already been 3 years since you came to our village. When they first saw you brought in all bloody and soaken, to tell you the truth, they didn't think you were going to make it. And that strange masked man who carried you here that day, do you think that maybe he was your real father? Don't you remember anything? Why, they say you had terrible nightmares and constantly called out for your father. As much as I hear this game is really good, I feel like this is definitely a way to show you how not to do early game exposition. It is interesting, not delivered in necessarily the best way, but that's just my opinion. Who is it? Or who is it? Who are you? What? You want me to look after this boy? But now you're so healthy and strong, and it's all thanks to our village chief Lee. My, you should be grateful. Or should you be grateful? Interesting. Yeah, again, I've played this before. I don't remember all the details, but I have played. I played up to a little bit after the intro section. There is a certain charm to these games, though, that's for sure. I mean, I love them, so of course I think there's a charm to them, but... all right, let's talk to our friends and family that we've made in the last 3 years as a mysterious amnesiac. Oh, it's you, Faye. We're in the middle of discussing Timothy and Alice's wedding arrangements. Huh? Hey, why don't you bring a girlfriend or two home once in a while? Just because you live with an old man like me doesn't mean you have to hold back now, you hear? Why, when I was as young as you are, it seemed like every day I would. Oh, never mind. Now, we still have important things to discuss, so don't get in the way now. Oh, that's nice of you. Gonna trash my relationship status and then tell me to push off. Thanks. I don't know whether to be happy or sad. Tomorrow, our little Alice is gonna become someone's wife. I knew this day would come. This is the worst part of bringing up a little girl. Oh. Hello there, Faye. Our Timothy is really a lucky boy to be able to marry such a beautiful girl like Alice. I hope you come up with some embarrassing tales to tell in your speech. What a lovely family. Yo, hi there, Faye. Sorry for all us using your house like this. Yeah, for real, man. But we have to talk about the big day tomorrow with the village chief. Yeah, tomorrow, huh? Your wedding with Alice. Now that is a big day. Yeah, right, but it still hasn't hit me as a reality, though. Hey, Timothy, I just want to ask, or want to thank both you and Alice. 3 years ago, I woke up in this village without a trace of my memory. Didn't know who I was, where I had been, or what I had been doing up until that day. Couldn't recall a single thing. Despite that, you and Alice sympathized with me and encouraged me to go on. If the two of you hadn't have been there for me, I don't know what would have become of me. Timothy, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Now, you and Alice had better live happily ever after. Heck, quit it, will ya? You don't have to go and get all mushy on me. Anyway, to me it feels like I've always been friends with you ever since we were kids. And we will go on being friends forever, right? Of course. We didn't have a really dreadful foreshadowing scene right at the beginning. That didn't happen. Oh yeah, Faye, could you stop by and check on Alice? I still have some stuff to discuss with my old man and the village chief. But I'm sure she'll be glad to have some company. Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Anyway, I'll see you later. Oh, I don't know what voice I was doing there. Oh, and I really am looking forward to the ceremony tomorrow. This is an odd like setup. Like my best friend, like they're both my friends, and like he's asked me to spend time with his fiance. Sounds like a setup. Anyways, I don't think it is. So there you are, Faye. I have to talk to you about something. Oh, why, hello there, Dan. What a name like Dan. You got Faye, and you got Timothy and Dan. Anyways, you're lively today, as you are every day. Dan, don't be so rude. What's this barging in and all? Ah, Timothy's here too. Butt out, Timothy. Until you marry my sister, you have nothing to do with me at all. I just have some business here with my friend Faye. So anyway, Faye, I have something to talk to you about later. What is it, Dan? It sounds serious. Yeah, that's why I can't talk about it here. There's a certain person listening in who could cause us trouble. It's really important. We gotta talk seriously, one-on-one, man-to-man. I'll be hanging around outside, so I'll see you later, okay? Be seeing you, Timothy. Take care of yourself until tomorrow. Huh. What's up with him? As of tomorrow, I'm gonna be that kid's brother-in-law. That part isn't gonna be no honeymoon. Wow. What animosity. Alice and Timothy's wedding tomorrow is the talk of the town. I guess it's to be expected, though. It is one of life's biggest events. The women of the village are born, raised, married, and lived out the rest of their lives here. There must be some happiness in that, but I've been thinking from time to time. Sometimes I wish I were born a man so I could travel the world and live an ever-changing life. It's weird, isn't it? Ah, of course not. Really? Do you mean it? Huh. I knew you'd say that from me, Faye. Here, this is my own homemade aquasol. Our bear cows love it. Try it out sometime. Aquasol, the choice of all bear cows. Good to know that about like my main healing item. Can I have any control over the... Okay, I do have some control over the camera. I did remember that. Alright. Lately, my legs have gotten weaker. It's causing me a great deal of trouble. I would like to go and have Dr. Azuki take a look and see if he can help me. But it's a tremendous task to go up that mountain path to visit the doctor. I must be getting old. Yup. That doctor's eccentric. Why would anyone live up on a mountain peak like that? He should have moved closer to the village. Faye, you're good friends with the doctor. Ask him to move closer to our village for us. It is actually kind of ridiculous if you live in a village like with lots of different ages, like old people and young people, and you live on like a mountain peak. Like, what if someone's, about to die of a heart attack or going through childbirth and like they need someone right now? Like, oh, well, I gotta walk down my giant hill. What a lovely way to behave. I gotta Well, I was going to talk to the kid, but a random encounter. All right, so let's see how this game battle system works. Okay. I remember I looked online about this to look ahead of time. I know that there's some knack to how you level up the game's death blows, but I forget what it said. I have to look through that again. It's like there's some inconsistencies in how the game system works. All right. Hopper. What a lovely name. Is that its attack name? I guess so. It's an interesting little combo system it's got, but I don't know. We'll see how it works. I have mixed feelings about it, and I remember having mixed feelings about it before when I played. But we shall see. Okay, no. Don't trigger another... don't trigger another random encounter. No, please. Wait a second. All right. I do have to help that kid out now, if I can. Crap. I don't like how when you press that button, you're forced to go into this menu that slows everything down. All right, where's Lieutenant Dan at? And does he have any legs? There he is. Hello, Dan. Oh, good, Faye. You ready to talk? As you know, tomorrow's finally day of my sister's wedding. So what I want to talk to you about is exactly that. Alice's marriage. Faye, to be perfectly honest with you, I've always wished you could have been my brother. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. It's still not too late. You could go steal Alice and run off with her. If you need me to help, I'd be glad to. Bro. It may be odd for me to say this, but my sister's beautiful and a good cook. This is just between you and me, but she's well endowed too. Hey, you pervert little kid. Don't say that about your sister. No. So come on, go for it. That's crazy. Hey, what are you talking about, Dan? Timothy and Alice are both my best friends. You know I can't do that. Yeah, I know that. Well, if you're gonna be like that... But if you change your mind, come and talk to me. Alright, so now... I do not like that menu. Now I have to go and find and talk to Alice. Does she live here? The Laughing Focus and Piglet Tavern. Drunks welcome. Well, that is certainly a way to advertise. Oh my. Welcome, Faye. You want to have some fun? I give the best service in Lahan, you know? Oh wait, no, that's a woman. She's got a lovely, lovely accent for that. Hey, Ellen, quit teasing the innocent kid. Yeah, I know. It's just a joke, you blockhead. Gee, he's got sharp hearing. Anyway, maybe next time, okay, Faye? I'll be waiting. Rawr. Please don't do that. I'm not comfortable with it. You got a problem with me? Drinking at midday? How can I not be drinking, damn it? You got a problem, boy? What do I say here? Drinking won't help matters. I'm gonna be the neutral good guy, or the lawful good guy, rather. Shut up. What would you know? You don't know how I feel. I wouldn't want you to know. Damn it. No, wait up, boy. I'll give you this. Take it. What is that? I have no use for it. Don't worry about it. Just take it. Nobody knows in the depths of the sea, a teardrop shed by a mermaid received a mermaid tear. This drunk what did he just give me? What did he just give me? Bork bork. Mew Mew. We've got all our bases covered now. We've got our Borks, we've got our Mews. I wouldn't need anything else if only I could live together with my family, just the three of us. Why can't man understand something so simple? Hi. Okay, what's your problem then? What is his problem rather? I don't know. There's a context that I'm missing from that. South of here is the Black Moon Forest. If you can make it through there, you'll come to Eva, the great land of fire. I shouldn't be wasting my time here in this little country village. Well, I ought to go to Eva and work there. Beautiful woman and good liquor, and if I work hard enough, I'll be rich in no time. Wouldn't that be good? Sure. Pay no attention to the fool. He's always saying all this carefree stuff. In reality, it's an incredibly hard task to get through the Black Moon Forest. Lots of dangerous beasts and fearsome fire-eating lizards make their home there. It'd be better for you to stay away from there. Well, I know where we're going. Young one, beware, I can see it. There is a dark and icy wind that blows where you're going, a wind that nurtures grief and resentment, inviting death from which there's no salvation. No one will be able to escape from it but you and only you. Must eventually face up to that dark wind. Wow. Just kidding, I've always wanted to try saying that. Did I scare you? I'm really sorry. Bro. Spoilers. Alright, where is Alice herself? I see that kid up there. I want to see if I can get up there. Jump. Yellow. Birds are great. They can fly so high in the sky, go wherever they want to. You know, Faye, Mom was saying that you might have come from a faraway place. If you were a bird, you could fly back to your real home and anytime you wanted. Well, I'm not a bird, and also, what if my home is in the ocean? I can't fly there now, can I? Good for nothing kid. Alright, where is Alice anyways? I think this is tutorial stuff back here. Yep, nope, tutorial. I'm pretty sure either this is tutorial or it's useless. I know there's a section where I have tutorial. I don't want to go through that. I remember it taking an excessively long time. Okay. What am I missing here? Wait. Is me jumping on it actually? Jumping on your vegetables. Number 1, Burger King foot lettuce. Burger King foot lettuce. You must be served the Burger King foot lettuce. Anyways. No, this is the tutorial section here, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to avoid everyone in here. If I need to learn something, I will read about it. Wait, wasn't that Luca in there from Chrono Trigger? I forgot about that. Oh, hey, I will talk to you, Luca, because you're not supposed to be in this game. Oh, good, you're lucky. You came just at the right time. It's about time, Memory Cube. No, Luca, don't give me a tutorial, no, Luca. No, Luca. I love you, Luca, but no. Don't you want to know? The logical, comprehensible, and downright beautiful lecture given by me, the one and only great Luca, can only do you good. How will you ever know unless you hear it out? Oh, what a waste. Well, then don't come crying to me when you run into trouble. Jeez, Luca, you got really snarky between games. I do actually want to save, though. It's like I wanted to avoid tutorials, and Luca's like, ah, yes, I see an opportunity here to give him a tutorial. cursed scream. Okay, where is Alice? Have I been in here yet? I think I have. No, have I? Actually been inside yet? Oh no, this is my house. Yeah, okay. I have definitely been inside my house. Where is Alice? Okay, who is this? This is the general store, although they don't have much of a selection. But then again, we're out in the country, so we can't complain too much. As somebody who lives in a rural area, that is painfully relatable. This is the inn. Oh, okay, who's this? Why, hello, Faye. Are you here to see Alice? Yes, that is exactly who I am looking for. Actually, it's customary that we don't let any men in to see the bride today, but you can be an exception. This is so sketchy. So sketchy. I don't like it. Why, hello, Faye. Have you come to visit our Alice? She's upstairs right now. Just gonna... Sorry, I'm cutting you off there. Alice is on. Hello, Alice. Is that your wedding dress? Oh, Faye, you startled me. Yes, it is. I just finished it. It took more work than I expected. Huh. You did a great job there. It'll look wonderful on you, Alice. Congratulations. Thank you. Hey, I'm Alice. Oh, Faye. What is it? Oh, nothing. I see. Oh, yes, that's right. Faye, have you seen Dan? Yeah, he's outside, bragging as always. Ugh, that kid. I just told him that I had an errand for him to run. Oh, yeah, what kind of errand? It's for my wedding ceremony tomorrow. I was hoping he could go borrow a camera and some lights from Dr. Izuki on the mountain peak. If that's all it is, I'll be glad to do it for you. Could you? Oh, but I couldn't possibly. Don't worry, it's no problem. Anyway, it doesn't exactly make me feel comfortable having Dan handle such delicate instruments. What's more, I might have a chance to eat some of Yui's cooking if I go to the Doc's place. That's my Faye. Well, I'll go up there now and get them for you. Oh, Faye, wait. Is there something else you want me to get from Satan? Oh, it's not that. Faye, have you ever thought about things this way? If you had only been born in this village, and if we'd only known each other earlier on. Uh-oh, this isn't going well. Oh, it's nothing. I'm sorry. Well, I think I had better get going now. Yes. I agree. Whoops, my mouse. Oh, okay. Be careful on that mountain path. And give my regards to Dr. Izuki. Is this fate? I feel so foolish. Who am I kidding? Well, that was awkward. That was awkward. Alright, now I gotta go talk to the jerk doctor who lives up on the hillside. I think. Is it literally a different... Oh, yep. I have to actually literally go on somewhere else on the map. Yeah. Wow, what a jerk, this doctor. Okay, there's another save spot here, so that's not a... Wow! What a wonderful place for a random encounter right before the save spot. Alright. Ouch. I love the animations, though. The animations in this game are very fluid, and I do rather like that. Dang it. I'm too far away from the... Too far away from the little spot to actually save. Alright, I gotta stand right here. It's a little tedious, this whole save system, I won't lie. And the very laggy menu does not help. That animation is really neat. There's a lot of really neat little things in this game, though. They definitely put effort into it. It's just, I feel like there's little bits and things here and there that show that it was a little rushed and that Square had clearly redirected all of their efforts to actual Final Fantasy VII. Which is fair, you know? I mean, you got just the regular old dude with the ponytail, and you got the big dude, or the dude with the big giant comical sword. Of course. Which one is going to sell? Which one's going to sell? Dakazuki's house is over the bridge and up to the north. You just always remind yourself of directions, like you're your own Google Maps, Faye. My favorite part of JRPGs is high random encounter rates. Okay, so I gotta look at the actual damage amount. So the strong attack plus weak attack, I think does 25. Let's just do 3 weak attacks, see how it does. 3 weak attacks, it does practically the same. Okay. Oh, you're fine. I wasn't sure if you were still there or not, but you're fine, no worries. I will always find things to talk to in a game like this, I feel like. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. Well, in this instance, fierce damage did 0 damage. It does 33, okay. I feel like fierce does more, but I know that it doesn't train up the other combos from my recollection. Hob jerky. That sounds like a really awful euphemism. I load this menu. I feel like there are games where my run button is usually where Square would be on a PlayStation controller, and it just drives me insane that is menu here. Okay. Let's just stick with training weak attacks for now, though. Hobgob. Gonna give me some more hob jerky. I do love me some good sprite work, though, and these animations are very fluid. They're not the most detailed sprites, but they are very fluid. The animation is very fluid, and I do really like that. It reminds me of like the late 90s Street Fighter games, like Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter Alpha. Such good art. I really wish they'd make another good, big budget fighting game with that level of sprite work, but it just isn't popular enough to get the funding, unfortunately. Okay, what am I even doing here? Okay, I gotta remember the buttons are like this. Is this? No, okay, that is gonna be somewhere where it just makes me fall back down. This encounter rate is getting kind of ridiculous, though. It's like Breath of Fire 3. which I loved Breath of Fire 3. I did not love Breath of Fire 3's encounter rate. Gobble gobble HP absorb. The tone in this game is definitely unique. Which I guess that's a common thing for Square Enix JRPGs. They are very consistent with their inconsistent and weird, quirky tones, which is frankly why I love them. But alright, I do actually need to be in this menu for once. Hub jerk. You can only use this outside of battle. That is good to know. Okay. Where the Hexies am I actually... Okay, so is this up the mountain right here? This whole... the sort of 3D... The full 3D environment, but with these old school limited viewpoints and the kind of isometric sprites really throws me off. I mean, it's kind of like Grandia. The problem is that the FOV is way too close, though. Grandia had a much better balance with the FOV than this. Grandia is another JRPG that I would highly recommend to anybody who likes classic JRPGs. I don't, outside of like our JRPG, I don't see it talked about as frequently, and I think it kind of deserves to be on the same level as like Final Fantasy VII and maybe Xenogears, Legend of Dragoon. And I'm just kind of comparing this to other JRPGs just because I like to think about it and I find it to be an interesting comparison. But let's not say this game is bad. It's just it definitely has its flaws. Okay, so that's I don't want to walk around too much because then I trigger more random encounters. I don't think I can go anywhere further in that direction. As I was saying, I wonder, am I actually training any death blows by doing that? I might do a weak strong for a little bit. So I don't think I've probably been skipping through the victory screens too fast. Okay. You're fine, you're fine. I wonder if it's just my struggles with depth perception, or if it's just the game as to why I'm having so much trouble in this early mountain area. This doesn't seem like it should be this difficult. But I really am not the biggest fan of the FOV. I really wish they had it zoomed out a little bit more. But then you wouldn't get to see the oh, I got something there. One of my death blows, I think, went up or something. Maybe it was just a level up. Let's see. I need to stop skipping through that so quickly. No! I pressed the wrong button. I don't want to use any of that. That is not leveling anything up. I don't drink. Canada Dry, Fruit Splash, Cherry Ginger Ale, caffeine free, 0 sugar, made with a splash of real juice. It is really good. I do love me some ginger ale and some fruit splash ginger ale. That is maybe one of the best things in life. I've become one of their dominant buyers, I think. Anything with ginger, though, is always welcome. Okay, so I need to get all the way back up there. How do I do that quickly and efficiently? Right here, okay. Thankfully it wasn't too far. There we go. I really need to get used to this game's controls, otherwise I'm going to have a really hard time. I'm actually going to test this Wave XLR's mute because I need to cough. That mute actually works really well, I think. Oh, it's you, Faye. The cliff's edge collapsed from the heavy rain we had recently. You're all right, Faye. You can do a big jump to get across it. But I'm too scared. It's easy. Watch me. Say hello to the doctor for me. This freaking doctor, like, you do not live out like this. Like, imagine someone literally just needed to give childbirth. And like, doctor, come get me. He's like, I gotta do my little platforming thing, and I'll look at all these random encounters. I'm sorry, you gotta do it yourself. Then again, I guess in a world like this, maybe everyone would have some level of like midwife knowledge. I don't know. It just seems like a really, really awful thing for the doctor to live out here. I'm just, I can't get over that. This is kind of, it breaks the immersion a little bit, as they say. It breaks the immersion a little bit. But then again, I believe in real life crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened. My knowledge of history definitely tells me that crazier things have happened. What's my game time right now? I wanted to pretty much just go for approximately an hour. We're close to there, and I know that if I ended up actually hitting that big scene in the game, I would end up going way over an hour in that case. So I'm going to get through this scene and then save once I get the next chance. And then this test stream shall go on to its next potential segment. I'm definitely going to buy a GeoGuessr subscription, because that GeoGuessr alternative did not work out very well. It could have also been the browser not playing nicely with it, but I'm going to blame Whirlpool. What kind of name is Whirlpool anyways? Oh, what a lovely compressed... I'm not going to say what I was thinking. I was going to use another word for rooster. I'm going to pass on that, though. I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to just jump on this woman's head. Jumping on your head. Jumping... Anyways, talk to her. Oh, Faye, welcome. Hello, Yui. Where's Doc? My husband is tinkering with his junk out in the backyard. You know, I don't know how close we are in this context. I didn't need to know that. I didn't need to know that. I should have guessed. Doesn't he ever get sick of playing with that stuff? Well, okay then. I'll go out into the backyard, see if I can find him. You do not need to be any part of this conversation, child. Hi, Midori. It's a nice day to play outside. How about we feed the birds later? You okay, kid? Are you mute? Hope you're alright, kid. Hope that conversation traumatized you? If so, I am sorry, and I understand. Where are you, Doc? What's going on? Oh, this is no good. Why did they ever use such inferior parts? This is why their intervention strat... Doc, so that's where you were. Oh, Faye, good to see you. Are you alright, Doc? What are you doing all the way up here? I thought I would try to restore this land crab. Oh, and that explosion was nothing to worry about. It happens all the time. Also, I'm wondering, is this Doc actually different from the other doctor I was thinking of? I don't know. Is this Doc not like a health doc, or is he just a mechanical doc? I don't know. That might change things a bit, and that might have just been my own ignorance or misreading things. Could you wait a while? I'm just about ready to call it a day. Oh yes, there is something very interesting in the storeroom. Why not take a look? Okay, Doc, I will, but please hurry up. It will get dark before you know it. So this is what Doc was talking about. Let me see. What's so interesting about it? Wow. What is this? You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. This music, I've heard it before, somewhere. For a few dollars more? What do you think? Not bad, huh? Doc. Hello again, Faye. Sorry to have kept you waiting. No, you're not. Music is a mysterious thing. Sometimes it makes people remember things that they do not expect. Many thoughts, feelings, memories, things almost forgotten, regardless of whether the listener desires to remember them or not. That's a really weird thing to say, man. Doc, what is this? It was excavated from some old ruins and is still under repair. Obviously, it is an audio device of some type. It's a music box. It's a big old music box. It's not that complicated, man. Long ago, people would listen to this melody, just as we are doing now. Got a cough. At times, they would have been cheered up, while at times they would have been made to cry. By the way, what brings you here today? So I have like a partially hereditary chronic cough from a combination of things. And also I work in flat roofing for a living. That definitely agitates it. That is why I have coughing sometimes. Oh, yeah, that's right. Alice asked me to borrow some camera equipment from you. Oh, yes, her wedding is tomorrow, right? Understood. Well, we'd better get that ready then. Oh, and dinner should be ready soon. Would you like to join us? Would I ever? I was hoping you would ask. I still have some cleaning to do out there, or out here. Would you mind giving Midori some company back in the house? Okay, take your time, Doc. I'll go ahead and eat when dinner is ready. Go right ahead. I'm kind of losing my ability to read this properly right now. I'm trying, though. But I will not be held responsible if you get a stomachache from eating my wife Yuri's cooking. What does that supposed to mean? Doc, I feel strange when I listen to this music. I feel something warm inside. That just may be because you have someone living inside of you. And he too must have liked this music a long time ago, before he became part of you. Someone living inside of me, you like some kind of tumor baby? What are you talking about? Is Timothy and Alice's wedding really tomorrow? Might actually be better to live in an ordinary life in this condition, as a son of man. Well, anyway, I suppose I'd better adjust the gyro at least. Huh? This cannot be. Is this an omen? Now, what is going to happen? The amount of, like, excessive exposition and, like, foreshadowing, a little bit ham-fisted. I like the vibe. I like the story so far. But I still feel there are some bits of the delivery that have a little bit to be desired. And I'm not saying this to go overly critical on the game, because, I mean, there's a lot of issues you could lob at Final Fantasy VII, for example. But I'm just saying, because this is one of those games that I hear really, really pushed as, like, one of the best video game stories of all time. So I'm just taking it with that hype put into it. And it's not disappointing in a way that I don't want to play it. It's disappointing in a way that I'm just disappointed, son. I'm not angry. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Your cooking never fails to impress me, Yui. Thank you for such a delicious meal. You're welcome. If you like my cooking that much, then I'd be happy to cook for you anytime, Faye. I will bring the equipment you need to the village tomorrow morning myself. It does not exactly make me feel comfortable to have you handle such delicate instruments, I'm afraid. Where have I heard that line before? That's all right by me. Well, see you tomorrow, Doc. Good night, Yui, Midori. Good night. We're looking forward to tomorrow's wedding. Midori, are you like some kind of prophet? Do you like know that something bad is gonna happen? Did you read this script, Midori? Did you read the script? Oh, good night, Doc. Yes, good night. Oh, Faye, please be careful. Yeah, I mean, the path is dangerous when it gets so dark. What's wrong, Doc? There's nothing to worry about. Well, anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Well, can I save here is the question. Because I am at an hour now. Nope. Are there any save spots around here? Am I in their bedroom? Boop, hop, 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 hop. Can I not open this? It looks like I should be able to open this. Can I hop on it? Nope. Dang it. Okay, I do actually want to leave now. That felt useless. What's this? I feel like a lot of this might have been more important if I'd explored it before talking to him. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But it's cool nonetheless. That is such a nice view up there, though. There's a lot of really nice bits of where they knew a little something about composition, how to frame a shot. There's a lot of positive and negative with this game so far, which another game where I felt like that the entire game through. Final Fantasy VII. I'm getting a lot of. Sometimes I wonder if neither games happened, and maybe they just made one game and just put all the teams on the one game. If maybe there would have been a better game than Xenogears or Final Fantasy VII. But we got Xenogears and Final Fantasy VII. That's not bad either. My cat might be making a cameo here soon. She might just sit next to me that way, though. Oh, crap. She paused the game. Piper, not now, Piper. Piper, no piping. I know you don't understand the concept of streaming and Twitch and things of that nature. Uh-oh. What's that? Am I going to be forced to have the big scene now? That'd be funny but frustrating. Oh, crap. I'm trying to move the keyboard away from my cat. The mouse is also next to her, though. Ruh-roh, Reggie. Oh, it's the Gundams, or what were they in, what was Xeon's? What was Xeon's Gundam called? Giants! Faye! Doc, some flying objects went toward Lahan. So you saw them too? Judging by their shadows, they appear to be a group of gears from our neighbor country, Kislev. Those were gears? No, they're headed directly for Lahan. Ones I just saw? Let us make haste. Right. Let us make haste. Haste. Okay, I can save. All right. I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. This is how we end things here. We end things on a cliffhanger. And things on a cliffhanger. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. At about an hour, what I wanted to do. Alright. So that is Xenogears. Again, I shall return to it in due time. But for the moment, we shall put it on hold. All right, let's see if my idea for a midstream segment can return again. Okay, so I can come back up to here. I can bring this back up. So I wanted to see if I could do a Rorschach test. I don't know how this. Again, I didn't really vet this site very well. So I don't know how it'll work. I've seen other Rorschach tests before. Again, I wasn't originally sure how I was going to stream this today. I was just like, maybe I'll do it. Also, this thing is there we go. But so I don't know. But again, this is a first test stream of this format. This site is really, I can't tell if it's the site or the browser though. Oftentimes, because this browser is very iffy. All right, so here I see two tailless Eevees. I've seen this ink blot before. Hello, Piper. I see two tailless Eevees hugging a totem pole. That is not option. Yeah, something not listed here. No, but I'll try and give something close to it. It would be the choose what would be the best description of the image you just saw and mark it in the column first. The second description fits well. Mark the column second. So I'll say first as something not listed here. Oh, come on. Okay, we can do it. All right. We'll say 2 people is the closest thing, sure. 2 Eevees without a tail is what I saw. All right, continue. I mean, this is the bears giving the high five. Bloody bears giving the high five. I did a... One day I just kind of went through the typical Rorschach test. And was thinking about what I thought of it. But yeah, it's 2 bears high-fiving. Come on now. Bloody spinal column. 2 elephants? Yeah, I suppose. It's probably the closest thing, I guess. Oh, it's our tuxedo butlers carrying in Metroid or Samus's ship. That's right. That's right. This is a common Rorschach. There must be just be like a standard set of things for the Rorschach test. Yeah. No, I see 2 butlers carrying in Samus's ship, and that's not listed here at all. Second, I would say, is 2 men. Yeah. All right. I see here. To me, it looks like an extraterrestrial like canyon. Again, something not listed here. The closest thing though would be, I guess, black smoke and dirt. Sure. That right there is just like a bat or a butterfly. I mean, yeah, that is what that is. Let me see the next thing, I guess. I don't really think there's anything else I saw. I just saw that. Okay. I see 2 hooded figures worshipping like some kind of heavy metal album cover. Totem pole is actually pretty close, so I'll say that. I'll say totem pole is sex organs, of course. I see faces. I see a couple of faces there. That's about all I see from that one. 2 women talking. I didn't see them talking, but I saw 2 faces of a woman, I guess. I didn't really identify any specific anyways. This is 2 bears climbing, a burning French flag. I think that's a French flag. 2 animals, yeah, it's close enough. I see 2 firebenders duking it out. 2 people witches. Or two people witches or Santa Clauses. A plural Santa Claus. I mean, that's the Eiffel Tower. That one's the Eiffel Tower. Come on now. Wait, what? That was the Eiffel Tower. I thought that was the Eiffel Tower. I am 25 to 34, male. What brands of eggs am I aware of? I guess I'm aware of Eggland's Best. And then, like, the ones you buy at Walmart. I'm sorry. That's all we don't really have much around where I live. I have not seen any eggs recently advertised online. I don't buy Eggland's Best, though. Because for me, it's either great value eggs or I'm gonna like find someone locally who has eggs. It's gonna be like one or the other. Like it's not gonna go in between, man. None. I didn't buy any of those eggs. Chip for eggs. No, I won't consider any of them. I consider great value, and I consider actual like farm fresh eggs that someone locally has made, or someone locally has I don't know, raised, took from the chicken. My impression of Eggland's best. I think it's funny because I think Eggland sounds like Eggman. I purchase eggs every day. I am the Eggman. That's what I am. I am the Eggman. It is my master plan. If it weren't for that blue hedgehog Sonic. No, I buy them like probably once a week, maybe. I am the primary purchaser of eggs in my household. Where do most often shop for eggs? Who buys their eggs at CVS? I swear to God. I swear to God. I will admit I buy them usually from Walmart. Well, Walmart or another place. Again, it's usually one of the others. Depends. I don't have any children. I will admit I am interested in quick and easy recipes because of my full-time job. Just myself if you're not counting my cat. I guess I watch more videos, like, I guess multiple times a day, I guess. But I guess. Yeah. Oh, that's all the time. Online or mobile games. That's actually, if we're counting online games, probably going to be less than once a week. Almost never. I don't really play online games. All right, give me the results. All right. You have completed the Harrow-Erickson multiple choice Rorschach test. Your score of 1 of 10, meaning you selected 1 answers that are commonly given by individuals with some psychological disturbance. Harrow-Erickson used 4 or more poor answers as the criteria for a cognitively disturbed individual. With a note, there is nothing absolute or final about the choice of 4 poor answers as the score at which becomes suspicious of an individual's performance. We selected this point empirically, since it seemed to be one which caught the maximum number of persons who showed some significant disturbance in the particular group we tested. However, if only the most disturbed individuals are to be screened out, then 5 poor answers, or even 6, may be taken as the criterion. Similarly, if exceptionally well-balanced and integrated individuals are to be selected, picking these on the basis of having no poor answers or having only 1 poor answer might be useful. Interesting. So yeah, most people score about there, but I wonder how much of it, due to my answering mostly like nothing is there, or none of your options, you know. I guess I should have technically like selected more of what I saw there, but like I don't know. I like giving my own opinions when I see. I don't want to select multiple choice, but that's all you can do online, really. You know what I really want? It's going to be terrible. And AI, you know, it's a mixed bag right now. I really want an AI Rorschach test so they can actually take my responses and really understand them. And I know AI is very, very trustworthy in regards to like really assessing a human individual's psychological, you know, well-being. No problems there at all. That's not going to lead to anything bad down the line, guaranteed. Anyways, that's that segment. I think it showed. I think that segment was it showed up. All right. So now, I'm going to set up another smaller temporary game. A shorter little stream here I would like to do. today what we are going to do is LSD Dream Emulator. If I can actually get it to work. There we go. All right. So if you are unaware, this is not the typical LSD Dream Emulator. This is a sort of open source, or maybe it's not open source, I don't know, revamped version to work on modern computers. But if you're unaware, for those unblissfully unaware of what LSD Dream Emulator, the original, was, it was a very quirky PlayStation 1 game where you kind of walk around these sort of kind of combination of procedurally generated, mixed and matched little worlds that were created off of one of the developers' dream journals. So it seems really trippy. The technical vibe of the game isn't supposed to be taking drugs. It's just that it's a really good, it's an eye-catching, title, and it does kind of describe part of the vibe, but it's really supposed to be like a dreamscape. So it's called Dream Emulator. And they always have different things that LSD stands for. I forget all of them, but anyways, this is again, this is a fan project that is aimed to recreate the game for modern systems like Windows and Mac and Linux. But anyways, I love LSD Dream Emulator, and I messed with this a little bit a year ago. I think they've changed it a little bit. I know it doesn't have the whole game in yet, and I think there have been some fan editions, so we might revisit this at some other point. But I just wanted to, for 15 minutes or so, mess around with LSD Revamped. Oh yeah, I might turn down the volume a little bit on this. All right. Oh yeah, it also feels way better to play than the original PS1 version. So the whole, object of the game is just to walk around and run into stuff and see what crazy stuff the game randomly picks out of its little dream journal developed asset hat. And we are going straight into the violence district. Wonderful. So I don't remember, honestly, on the top of my head, what all of the different areas are named. I do remember this one is called the Violence District. But a lot of times not much is actually generated in the world. It's just mostly an empty world. But slowly, depending on different factors, like what you ran into or when you ran into it, and whether the game had a nice cup of tea, will determine whether or not it starts generating different, entities, different objects, different textures, different music. But again, I also don't know how much of it is actually in this this fan recreated. So I'm just gonna run to this wall right now. Yeah, I don't know how much it's actually in this project though. And yeah, it's got a real banger of a trippy soundtrack. Up there's the elephant. There's the classic elephant, the classic LSD Dream Emulator elephant, and the Southeast Asian or Southern Asian, I don't know, zone, South Asian zone. I don't know I forget what this place is actually called. They have names for all of them though. All of the zones have names. Oh, we got the sumo wrestlers. Oh boy, we got the sumo wrestlers. Oh, I forgot to change the Twitch. Forgot to change the Twitch game. There we go. Oh, we're going down. Oh yeah, and there's a little where you end the dream will lead it more towards a downer or upper. More static. I mean, there's less objects and less things generated, and dynamic leads things to be more, dynamically generated. I think downer, I don't know, it just leads to more depressing things and more downbeat music, maybe. It's something along those lines. Upper is the inverse of that then. But again, I don't entirely remember. So can I go? What do I do then? Do I just go back and okay? They changed how this worked a little bit since last time I played this. I do not remember a map. Was this in the original game? It might have been. It might have been, but I forget. I haven't played this in so long that I don't know. I really don't know. This is that was a vibe. Oh yeah. Just listen to this banger. Why am I not? Oh, that's right. What a banger. Oh yeah. My favorite krautrock album. Crust. Crust by Vacuum Egg. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a funny made up like krautrock band. I gotta, I'm sorry, but this music's actually driving me crazy. I'm joking about it being a banger, but it's driving me crazy. So I'm gonna have to jump off a cliff. Gonna have to jump off a cliff. That was no bueno. Alright, let's start day 3. Alright, now this is a little more of a bop. I can't remember if all this was music from the original game or if they added new music. I feel like I remember seeing something in a post that they added new music. I don't remember this song at all. How do I look up? Can I look up in this? I forget what... I don't know what the... I didn't actually look at the controls. I just did something. Okay, look it up there. Let's look up. Let's look up then. I look down. What I want to do is look up. There we go. It's a tree! If that was in the original game, I never saw that tree before. I never saw that map before. So it might be, they might have a different generation, you know, algorithm set up in this. Or maybe they added new items. I don't know. Knowing the level of objects in LSD Dream Emulator, the original, that I never saw before, I could totally believe that I just never saw that. Even in the I probably played LSD Dream Emulator for at least a total of like 12 to 15 hours. If not more. I played a lot of it back in the day. Probably more like making me feel old. Probably like 7 to 10 years ago, probably the years I played that the most. Which is still way after its release date. But let's run into a tree. Tree time, baby. I have seen this before, though. Oh, I don't end my dream before I get to see the funny heads, the meme heads, the meme eyes. We're on a static upper now, alright. We're on a lovely static upper. I made those noises. My cat looked at me like, "What in the world are you doing?" Like I had her listening to some noise rock earlier, some Dinosaur Jr., and she was just like, "This is mildly annoying." I make that noise, and she's like, "What are you doing? That is offensive to me." She did not like me making that noise. I'm sorry, Piper. All right, so what is that on that? Is that a head? Let's go to potentially Headville. Sure. This way to Headville. I'm not seeing Headville. I'm just seeing trees and more trees. Where is Headville? I want Headville. This does feel very different though. Like I feel like there's a lot more. I think there's a lot more land that we can walk on. Like I feel like the land goes on a lot longer in this version. I got to look more into what they've all changed in the engine and like the generation system. It's not bad. Like it feels a lot better to play than the original PlayStation version. Oh, we got the it's the rainbow obelisk of wonder. Let's run into the rainbow obelisk. Elephant. That's a pink elephant there. Who's been drinking? Let's let's run towards the pink elephant. Let's dive into the metaphor. Whee! Oh, now we're just kind of back to a neutral. That's not fun. What's a neutral dream? It's like the dreams I have when I just go to the freaking gas station and it doesn't pump my gas. Ooh, another lovely, lovely song. Ooh, we got the chairs. We got the chairs. I have seen these before, rarely. There's something on top of the chairs. I am going to leave this, though, because the music is, the music's a lot here. I know viewers will probably not like it if they watch it eventually. Oh yeah, this is a classic scene here. The classic walk to the end of the hallway and the wall just like breaks off and explodes into space and you run off into the depths of, you know, the depths of eternity. All right, here we go. Oh, you don't run off into it. It sends you back. I forgot. I forgot it sent me back. All right. I wanted to run off and jump off into the depths of eternity. And you won't let me. Let me. Thank you. This is what modern hip-hop sounds like to me. I love weird, crazy music, okay? I do. Like, I listen to some weirdo music. Like, I listen to Can, a lot of krautrock, some, you know, obscure prog rock. I listen to Magma. Magma's one of my favorite bands. But someone played, like, this new hip-hop song. I don't know if it was that one by Kendrick Lamar. This is what it sounded like to me. I'm like, is this actually mainstream hip-hop? I'm confused. This is sounding just as weird as the music that I listen to. What's going on? And then we have actually gone full circle. I think this is a perfect place to cut this off for now, because I'm going to end the stream here in a little bit. I do want to end it with my last actual segment, but the test stream is going to come to an end here soon. Alrighty. Alrighty, so the last segment for my stream is going to be a reading segment. And my plan originally was to find some, like, newer writers and read their work publicly, just like a few bits. But I wanted to get their permission first. And I haven't been able to get anyone's permission. I emailed or otherwise contacted, I think, 6 new authors after spending hours trying to even find any to contact. Because it was, like, nigh on impossible to contact anyone. But I was like, I did get one response from a Miss, what's her name? E.J. Masters, about her little cozy mystery books that kind of have a vibe of Northwestern New York, and I love Northwestern New York. And I was like, this is relevant to my interests. And she replied, she's like, what's your stream about? Give me some more information about the context of your stream. Like, I haven't actually made the stream yet. I'm just like trying to find some people beforehand. And she hasn't replied yet. So we are instead going to read a bit from an old book that has become public domain. It is an old, apparently it is a satirical drama comedy from, I believe, 1920s Britain. A 1920, Queen Lucia, by the Wikipedia article, is a 1920 comic novel written by E.F. Benson. It is the first of 6 novels in the popular Map and Lucia series about idle women in the 1920s and their struggle for social dominance over their small communities. It just sounds like an amusing little setup. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. I don't know how much. We'll see. But it took me a while to actually find something that was like, this is readable. I was looking through Project Gutenberg, and I was getting either things that everyone knows about, or it was like my memoirs from South Africa, which is like, there's going to be a lot of racism in that one. Telling you right now, this book, it's going to have some stuff in it. All right. So, with that, let's look into Queen Lucia. Lucia. Should it be pronounced Lucia or Lucia? I'm going to look this up. Lucia. You're going to hear me Googling the pronunciation. So I thought, like, I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. I go on the Reddit page, actually, about the pronunciation. Everyone's like, so the top comment is Lucia. Next comment is Lucia. Third comment is Lucia. Fourth comment, Lucia. So I'm going to go with Lucia. Or no. If it's the is the English way Lucia then? Yeah, it's one of those words I know, or names rather. I know that there are multiple pronunciations of it. What's the just give me the English pronunciations. This is England. This is England.
Sherrod Brown knows how hard we work. He fought to cap the cost of insulin for Medicare recipients at $30.
I should have just looked at this on my actual
and to lower
account. Let me look at this on my actual YouTube account because I have. I'm a naughty sellout or buyout, and I've got YouTube Premium. I had this open in my other browser window that I was running on the stream.
Or looking at how to pronounce to the channel if you enjoy learning about correct. How do you say it? Well, 2 different ways of pronouncing it, mainly. One comes from Spanish. In Spanish Spain, it is said as Lucia, Lucia. In other Spanish-speaking countries, Lucia, Lucia. In Italy, in Italy, it is said as Lucia.
Yeah, I knew
Lucia.
in Italian would be Lucia.
So in English,
I knew a Lucio.
Lucia or Lucia. 2 different ways.
Well, you didn't help me at all there. In English, you're like, in English, just 2 different ways. I'm going to go with Lucia. I don't even know if I'll read her name in this. Good Lord. Good Lord. Alrighty. That was so helpful. So helpful. All right, let's just go reading a little bit of Queen Lucia. Going with Lucia. All right. Queen Lucia by E.F. Benson, Chapter 1. For the record, I've never read this before. If I do this segment in the future, I'm probably going to pre-read these a little bit. Please, Piper, get away from my stereo. You know that I'm distracted, and so you're going places I don't want you to. Though the sun was hot on this July morning, Mrs. Lucas preferred to cover the half-mile that lay between the station and her house on her own brisk feet, and set on her maid and her luggage in the fly that her husband had ordered to meet her. After those 4 hours in the train, a short walk would be pleasant. But though she veiled it from her conscious mind, another motive, subconsciously engineered, prompted her action. It would, of course, be universally known to all her friends in Rizaholm that she was arriving today by the 12:26, and at the hour the village would be sure to be full of them. They would see the fly with luggage draw up at the door of the hearse, and nobody except her maid would get out. That would be an interesting thing for them. It would cause one of those little thrills of pleasant excitement and conjectural exercise which supplied Rizaholm with its emotional daily bread. They would all wonder what had happened to her, whether she had been taken ill at the very last moment before leaving town, and with her well-known fortitude and consideration for the feelings of others, had sent her maid on to assure her husband that he need not be anxious. That would clearly be Mrs. Quantock's suggestion, for Mrs. Quantock's mind, devoted as it was now to the study of Christian Science and the determination to deny the existence of pain, disease, and death as regards herself, was always full of the gloomiest views as regards her friends, and on the slightest excuse pictured that they, poor blind things, were suffering from false claims. Indeed, given that the fly had already arrived at the Hearst, and that its arrival had at this moment been seen or reported to Daisy Quantock, the chances were vastly in favor of the ladies having already started in to give Mrs. Lucas absent treatment. Very likely Georgie Pilson had also seen the anticlimax of the fly's arrival, but he would hazard a much more probable, though erroneous, solution of her absence. He would certainly guess that she had sent on her maid with the luggage to the station in order to take a seat for her, while she herself, oblivious to the passage of time, was spending her last half hour in contemplation of the Italian masterpieces at the National Gallery, or the Greek bronzes at the British Museum. Certainly she would not be at the Royal Academy, for the culture of Rizaholm, led by herself, rejected as valueless all artistic efforts later than the death of Sir Joshua Reynolds, and a great deal of what went before. Her husband, with his firm grasp of the obvious, on the other hand, would be disappointingly capable, even before her maid confirmed his conjecture, of concluding that she had merely walked from the station. I will say so far this is rather amusing. It has a little bit of like a Pride and Prejudice feel of like those kind of people, like everyone but Elizabeth, like all of their attitudes, pretty much. I get that vibe. I still need to finish listening to an audiobook of Pride and Prejudice. It's a really good book. I just got distracted. I'm like 75% of the way through it. The motive, then, that made her send her cab on, though subconsciously generated, soon Oh, wait. Did I read that already? No, I didn't. Okay. The motive, then, that made her send her cab on, though subconsciously generated, soon penetrated into her subconsciousness. And these guesses at what other people would think when they saw it arrive without her sprang from the dramatic element that had formed so large a part of her mentality, and made her always take, as by right divine, the leading part in the histrionic entertainments with which the culture of Rizaholm beguiled, or rather strenuously occupied such moments as could be spared from their studies of art and literature and their social engagements. Indeed, she did not usually stop at taking the leading part, but if possible, doubled another character with it, as well as being stage manager and adapter, if not designer of scenery. Whatever she did, and really she did an incredible deal. She did it with all the might of her dramatic perception. Did it, in fact, with such earnestness that she had no time to have an eye to the gallery at all. She simply contemplated herself and her own vigorous accomplishment. When she played the piano, as she frequently did, reserving an hour for practice every day, she cared not in the smallest degree for what anybody who passed down the road outside her house might be thinking of the roulades that poured from her open window. I'm actually not familiar with that word, I'll admit. She was simply Emmeline Lucas, absorbed in glorious Bach, or dainty Scarlatti, or noble Beethoven. The latter perhaps was her favorite composer. And many were the evenings when the lights quenched and only the soft effulgence of the moon pouring in through the uncurtained windows. She sat with her profile cameo-like, or like perhaps to the head on a postage stamp, against the dark oak walls of her music room, and entranced herself and her listeners, if there were people to dinner. With the exquisite pathos of the first movement of the Moonlight Sonata. That's a bit of a hard sentence to read through there. At least on improv. Devotedly as she worshipped the master whose picture hung above her Steinway Grand. I played a Steinway recently. Those are still very nice, though I hear they are better. She could never bring herself to believe that the two succeeding movements were on the same sublime level as the first. And besides, they went very much faster. Hey, I love the third movement of Moonlight Sonata, don't you dare. But she had seriously thought, as she came down in the train today, and planned her fresh activities at home, of trying to master them, so that she could get through their intricacies with tolerable accuracy. Until then, she would assuredly stop at the end of the first movement in this moonlight seances. In these moonlight seances. And say that the other two were more likely morning and afternoon. Then, with a sigh, she would softly shut the piano lid, and perhaps wiping a little genuine moisture from her eyes, would turn on the electric light, and taking up a book from the table, in which a paper knife marked the extent of her penetration, say, "Georgie, you must really promise me to read this Life of Antonio Caporelli the moment I have finished it. I never understood the rise of the Venetian school before. As I read, I can smell the salt tide creeping up over the lagoon, and see the campanile of dear Torcello." I don't know if I'm pronouncing that quite right, but we'll go with it. And Georgie would put down the tambour on which he was working his copy of an Italian. Cope and sigh too. A lot of words I'm not admittedly used to reading, I'll admit openly here. "You are too wonderful," he would say. "How do you find time for everything?" She rejoined with the apophthegm. Is it the apophthegm? Apophthegm. The apophthegm. I admit that is not a word I am familiar with at all, that made the rounds of Rizaholm next day. My dear, it is just busy people that have time for everything. Let's take this opportunity to learn a new word, everybody.
Apothegm.
That's not how he spelled it there, though. He spelled it differently. I wasn't that off, though, apothegm. Yeah, I think I kind of got close. What does it actually mean, though? A concise saying or maxim. The apothegm, tomorrow is another day. That's not a very concise word now, is it? So the apothegm here, then, is just, my dear, it is just busy people that have time for everything. Interesting. Interesting. It might be thought that even such activities as have here been indicated would be enough to occupy anyone so busily that he would positively not have time for more. But such was far from being the case with Mrs. Lucas. Just as the painter Rubens amused himself with being the ambassador to the court of St. James, a sufficient career in itself for most busy men, so Mrs. Lucas amused herself in the intervals of her pursuit of art for art's sake, with being not only an ambassador but a monarch. Rizaholm might, perhaps, according to the crude materialism of maps, be included in the kingdom of Great Britain, but in a more real and inward sense, it formed a complete kingdom of its own, and its queen was undoubtedly Miss Lucas, who ruled it with a secure autocracy, pleasant to contemplate at a time when thrones were toppling and imperial clowns were whirling like dead leaves down the autumn winds. The ruler of Rizaholm, happier than he of Russia, had no need to fear the finger of Bolshevism writing on the wall, for there was not in the whole of that vat which seethed so pleasantly with culture one bubble of revolutionary ferment. Here there was neither poverty nor discontent, nor muttered menace of any upheaval. Mrs. Lucas, busy and serene, worked harder than any of her subjects, and exercised an autocratic control over a nominal democracy. This is amazing writing, I just want to say. I really like this. It's hard to read, like off the cuff, as I'm trying to do. The sentences aren't composed in a way that is conducive to just reading it and going. But the writing is really good. This is really good writing. I'm glad that I stumbled upon this, actually. Something of the consciousness of her sovereignty was in her mind as she turned the last hot corner of the road and came in sight of the village street that constituted her kingdom. Indeed, it belonged to her, as treasure trove belongs to the crown, for it was she who had been the first to begin the transformation of this remote Elizabethan village into the palace of culture that was now reared on the spot where 10 years ago an agricultural population had led bovine and unilluminated lives in their cottages of grey stone or brick and timber. Before that, while her husband was amassing a fortune, comfortable in amount and respectable in origin, the bar, she had merely held up a small dim lamp of culture in Onslow Gardens. But both her ambition and his have been to bask and be busy in artistic realms of their own, when the materialistic needs were provided for by sound investments. And so when there were requisite thousands of pounds in secure securities, she had easily persuaded him to buy 3 of these cottages that stood together in a low 2-storied block. Then, by judicious removal of partition walls, she had, with the aid of a sympathetic architect, transmuted them into a most comfortable dwelling, subsequently building onto them a new wing that ran at right angles at the back, which was, if anything, a shade more inexorably Elizabethan than the stem onto which it was grafted, for here was situated the famous smoking parlor, with rushes on the floor, and a dresser arranged with pewter tankards and leaded lattice windows of glass so antique that it was practically impossible to see out of them. I love that. I will say this is very good for comedy. I think I might stop here though for this test stream, because this is a long chapter, and I'm about to cough a lot. I'll finish this paragraph just for the record, or for the heck of it rather. It had a huge open fireplace framed in oak beams with a seat on each side of the iron-backed hearth within the chimney, and a genuine spit hung over in the middle of the fire. Here, though, in the rest of the house, she had, for the sake of convenience, allowed the installation of an electric light. I think for future streams, I might also have some cough drops on standby as well. Gotta love working a construction job while also having a hereditary chronic cough. I also just love, considering it's 1920, they have to point out that it's an electric light. It's fancy, fancy. Fancy and convenient. But I wonder if actually in this context it's actually viewed as being like, oh, an electric light. That's so, yeah. Working man. The Wave XLR mute, though, goated as all get out. Love it. I'm also out of my ginger ale, my Canada Dry Fruit Splash. Anyways, allow the installation of an electric light. There was no such convenience made, and sconces on the walls held dim iron lamps, of course, so that only those of the most acute vision were able to read. Even then, reading was difficult, for the bookstand on the table contained nothing but a few crabbed black-letter volumes dating from not later than the early 17th century. So no frickin' Thomas Gibbons. And you had to be in a frantically Elizabethan frame of mind to be at ease there. But Miss Lucas often spent some of her rare leisure moments in the smoking parlor, playing on the virginal that stood in the window. Or kippering herself in the fumes of the wood fire, as with streaming eyes she deciphered an Elsevier Horus, rather late for illusion or inclusion under the rule, but an undoubted bargain. What is this? Am I really dumb in not knowing what this is? No, a noun. An early spin. Is it like some kind of piano? Ah, it's a harpsichord type thing. I will admit, as someone who plays keyboard, I feel ashamed to not have ever heard of this. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Let's end this stream by watching someone play one. This is our culture. Just like the people.
When I told Trump about this, he urged me to get this message out to as many true patriots.
Okay, I'm going to maybe get a new window set up for that actually on my actual account. Just like the people of Rizzaholm are all about culture and expanding their horizons, so we shall be in looking up the Virgin Virginal versus the Chad harpsichord. So I'm going to add a new window capture. And I'm going to look at this. I have to make it small enough to actually fit on the screen because I have a 4K display and the canvas is 1080p. I'm going to have this prepared for next time. And I'm going to probably maybe log into my account, YouTube account on that other browser. I don't know. Either way, take it away playing on the Virginal. Not gonna lie, low-key pretty good. I like it. I like it. I always like playing on the little harpsichord settings on my keyboard, so I can definitely appreciate that. Alrighty, this has been my first test stream for this new format. A little mixed bag of things. I'm gonna probably practice a little more, prepare a little more, but I prepared a lot by having to get all this stuff set up. I have this fake Windows overlay that I have. So, I mean, I did put some time into this, but not enough, frankly. It seems to have worked sort of well, so. This has been Shorthawk, coming to you live from a double wide along the Ohio River. Take care.